Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Crypto and Chill stream here on Sundays, Cincinnati Crypto. My name is David, and today's show is very unique. I got nothing planned, nothing. Besides maybe looking at the markets, what's Bitcoin doing? We're seeing a little bit of a pump. Kind of recapping what happened last week and then what I'm looking forward to in the week upcoming. And the show is for you guys. So it's for me to be able to connect with the community. If you guys have any questions, whether it's from a crypto standpoint, personal, business matter, really whatever, anything's game, feel free, throw questions in the chat, conversations. Again, I have zero content planned. And so this is just me and you guys on the other end of this camera, kind of hanging out, chilling, talking about some crypto. You know, D Godfather said Crow. Now, I think it was yesterday or Friday, the thing about them reintroducing I think it was 30 billion Crow tokens that was burnt in 2021. And they are reintroducing them to the max supply. And I read some stuff up on it. They want to use it for liquidity, to bolster the ecosystem. I read somewhere in there for like ETF or I don't know. Either way, not really a good look, in my opinion, from like, if I'm on the other side, if I'm an investor and, you know, token burns is something that you're like, you know, that makes me more bullish. Not really a good thing. Because in that scenario, then the next time someone, we're going to burn X amount of tokens. If you know, those tokens can come back, you're just like, is it that big of a deal? But to me, that doesn't change anything as far as Kronos, why I've been bullish on it. And so for me, I'm still bullish on Kronos. And the main reason for that is crypto.com. I know the Kronos ecosystem isn't anywhere near something like Solana. I don't even want to throw Ethereum in there because it's not even fair, but like Solana, Cardano, BNB, it's really not close. I mean, I'm not saying there's nothing happening on Kronos, but to compare Kronos to really anything, I don't think it's fair. And so, but crypto.com, seeing their roadmap for this year, where they're looking to go, and with the US becoming ever more crypto friendly, I'm pretty bullish. Adam Bates said, what is your sign? I'm assuming you're referring to my zodiac sign. I'm a Sagittarius. My birthday is December 8th. So I'm half man, half horse, you know what I'm saying? No, that joke reminds me of someone else, someone near and dear to me. La Chica, what's going on? Can you talk about Cody? I don't know too much about Cody. I don't want to sit here and bullshit you. I know they were, big stablecoin infrastructure. They were going to do the Jet stablecoin for Cardano. Outside of that, here, I guess we can take a peek at Cody. By the way, guys, got a big announcement. It's from a personal stand. I quit vaping. Yeah. So yesterday was my first day. My God, I must have been consuming an obscene amount of nicotine because I felt like I was on another dimension, dude. I thought like my head was all cloudy. I felt like I was floating. I kept wanting to eat something. And so, damn, it was quite the interesting journey. I took like 2 naps yesterday, which I was super drained and tired. But it's something that should have been done. If you guys notice, I tend to do that a lot more on the live show during the morning. Now I start to talk and then all that phlegm starts to build up and I got to clear my throat and it's not very audioly appealing. If that's not a word, but I'm going to use it anyways. It's not very appealing to you watching to have to listen to someone have to clear their throat every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes. And so it's only gotten worse. And it was time. This channel and you guys, I care about you a lot. And so this is how my brain works. I can't do something for myself, but I can do it for other people. Like if my family needed me or the community or the business, I can do it. But if it's like, hey, David, it's for your own good health. I'm like, yeah, I know, but it's just so good. But when you put someone else in front of me and says, look, if you do this, it'll benefit this person, your family, your friends, or whatever. It's fucked up, but I don't know. I guess I'm a selfless person. I don't know. Either way, it's a win-win for everyone. Me personally, for my family, for you guys, for the show, for everything. And so, yeah, I mean, I've been vaping for a while. Started with cigarettes. My whole family, my mom, dad, they're all cigarette smokers, aunt, uncles. I'm Armenian, so cigars and cigarettes is what we do. And so I've been smoking shit since I was like 20. On and off, I did quit a few times. Then I got on the vaping thing thinking I'd smoke less. But my God, it's just so convenient to just have that thing and it doesn't smell. You can smoke it inside. You can smoke it in bathrooms, at restaurants. And so I didn't realize how much I was smoking because every like 10 minutes, I'm like, do I need to hit? So either way, today's day number 2. And so, yeah, something exciting I wanted to share with you guys. Where the hell was I going? Oh, Cody. Okay. So this thing is at 135 million. I mean, didn't this thing, what was the all-time high? 60 cents. Damn. Yeah, I'm not going to BS you here, my friend. I don't know much about it. I don't have any in my portfolio. I just know that from Cardano, they were looking to work the Jet stablecoin, and I don't know what happened to that. But yeah. All right, how's you guys' Sunday going, man? How's your guys' Sunday going? You guys spend some time with your family? Joel Taylor said, that's awesome. Congrats. Vaping is horrible. I agree, man. Thank you very much. It ain't easy, but yeah. HBAR Dono said, I'm a Sagittarius too. Dope. You know, Sagittarius, December. What's 10 months before December? February. What's in February? Valentine's Day. I was conceived on Valentine's Day. That's how I look at it. I don't know why that matters, but hey. Rusty Bot said, if you need advice on quitting, I'm your man. I've quit meth, nicotine, weed, alcohol. Quitting is my blood. That's awesome, man. Congrats to you, my friend. Addiction's a hard thing to kick. And I've had addictions to a lot of things, including nicotine. For me, it's always in the back of my mind that it's bad. But something like this is just how my brain works. Once I decide on something, like I'm going to do it, I just do it. I really don't care. It's when I start to plan and all right, well, I'm going to quit next week and I'm going to like wean off of it. Instead of taking 20 hits a day, I'm going to take 15 hits and then 10 and then no. It's like having a serrated knife and just slowly putting it in your rib cage, just 1 minute at a time. If you can just slam the whole thing in there and make it a one-time shot and be done and over with. Deal with the pain for 3 to 5 days, and then you'll be good to go. But when I come to the conclusion, like, all right, that's it. Like, I'm done. And not just tomorrow, the next day. It's like, I am done. Those times usually work out well for me. Now, of course, I'm not perfect. I've quit smoking before and obviously picked it back up again. But either way, I'm excited. Like I said, the big thing for me was when it's starting to get in the way of the show, because I sit there and I'm like, I've spent all this time away from my family. You know, I'm missing out on vacations, spending all the money for the studio, the show, building up a community, all for what? For in 2 years, for me to not have a voice or get lung cancer, or I mean, I don't know. It would kind of be pretty fucking dumb, right? Spend all this time and money and all for it to be for nothing. And then the big factor for me was because we listened to our shows time and time again to kind of look at, hey, what can I fix? What can I get better? And I just started noticing I have to clear my throat a lot more. I literally can't talk. I start talking and you feel the buildup here in your throat and you're like, and then your voice starts breaking, like, all right, I got to clear my throat. And if the camera's on you, you can press the mic button, right, to mute the mic, but it's still kind of, it's messed up. And so I'm expecting it'll take probably a few days for everything to kind of clear up. I'm taking some like showers and baths with like eucalyptus or whatever, like menthol to kind of clear my loosen up that phlegm in my chest. So yeah. Tito said you should try nicotine toothpicks. Do those exist? Nicotine toothpicks. because I don't mind the nicotine. I really don't. I know it's not like natural or whatever, but I don't mind the nicotine. I just the smoking is what kills me. Okay, nicotine toothpicks. Oh my God, it's a real thing. Oh my God, it's a real thing. Holy shit. Oh my God. I have never seen this. Oh, these are nicotine free. Do they have any with nicotine? And what do you just suck on them? Or just kind of like gnaw on them? Huh. Oh, okay. So this is because a lot of the quitting, like smoking, is the motion of having something in your mouth or doing something with your mouth. And so the reason people gain a lot of weight when they quit is because they just start eating. That's what my mom did. My mom tried to quit. She's been a smoker for 50 years. She tried to quit and she gained like 30 pounds in 2 weeks and then she started smoking again. So to her weight gain was more important than her lungs collapsing in a few short years, unfortunately. So these are interesting though. I'm curious, do they have actual like nicotine ones? Or are these all no nicotine? So this is nicotine free. Toothpicks with caffeine. I have never seen this. This is very interesting. So I think it was Tito who put this up there. Was it Tito? Yeah, Tito. Thank you. That was very interesting. Chen said you got to keep your stress down or you might turn into the Hulk. You know, I don't think a lot of stress is good, but I think some stress is good. If you're and this is coming from someone who has an entrepreneurial spirit, who like I don't like the status quo, right? And this is nothing wrong. There's some people who are totally fine. I want to find a job, a company. I want to grow with that company. I want to work for that company. I want to help that company grow. And I get my pension. I get my vacation. I work 50 years. I retire. That's cool, man. Nothing wrong with that. You take care of your family. You enjoy your life. As long as when you're laying on your deathbed, you have no regrets. Cool. Me, though, to me, I don't want that. I want something better. I want to be able to my biggest thing is not having to trade my time for money. And that I can do what I truly love to do. And also from a passion business standpoint, but also do what I want to do on like a personal financial level, right? So if I want to go on a trip with my family, there's the Real Madrid, like we're a soccer family, right? Both my boys play soccer, and they're like, hey, El Clasico in Manchester City or in Spain, whatever, or in another country. Like, oh shit, okay, yeah, why don't we fly out for the weekend, go watch the game, and come home? It's just like creating memories with family and kids, and not anything about being bougie or I want to have billions of dollars, but to be able to like do something and not have to worry about the financial repercussions or can I afford it? I just put it on a credit card. Or my car's broken down, I need to wait. Or I need like four implants in my mouth. Let me save up some money to do that. And so to me, that's what I want. And I always go back to my dad. And those of you that have been with me for a while, you guys know my dad passed away in 2018. And he was an immigrant to this country. He was born in Iran. They moved to Sweden. And then in Sweden, he worked his way up and he was a top 20 or 10% income earner. He had a cush job, making great money, owned a home, which is very rare to do in a country like Sweden. And then he gave all that up and he moved his entire family to the States. And then, he would take me to work with him. He owned a HVAC company. And we would go to work together and we'd always stop at this 7-Eleven right by the house. Before we hit the freeway. And he would always talk to me on the car rides and say, hey, you know what, son? I had a good life in Sweden, but I knew that your potential there to be the person you want to be is very limited. So I wanted to have my kids grow up in a country where they can truly become whatever they want to become. They can make as much money as they want to. They can be a Congress. Like they can literally do anything you want. Let's say like, anything you can dream of, you can make it happen. And so he came to this country, he gave all of that up, and he had to go and learn the language of English. He got on welfare for 5 months. He needed the help with the housing and the food. He got on welfare for 5 months. As soon as he was able to find a job and make money, he got off of the welfare when a lot of his some family he knew that was out here have been on welfare for well over 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And he would always say, like, welfare is for people who actually need it. Once I don't like I don't need it anymore. I can make my own money, support my family. I don't need the government's money. Save it for the people that actually need it. So he was doing that, got a job, was making money. I think he was working at McDonald's. At night, he would go learn English. And then in the afternoon, he would take his HVAC classes because his qualifications in Sweden, he couldn't use those to get a business license to start a business here in the States. So he had to get recertified, take his license. For someone who knew no English, broken English, you can ask my wife. When she first came to my house, when I first introduced her to my parents, my dad spoke very little. He could speak a little English, but it was always broken English. But anyways, I think about that sacrifice and watching my dad do what he did, how he busted his ass, and his dream of why he moved to the States. For me, I feel like settling for the status quo would be a shame to his legacy. And so I want to do right by my father. I want to be a good father figure to my kids. I want to prove to them that no matter your circumstance, no matter your excuses, no matter your current situation, you can truly accomplish anything if you're consistent and if you're passionate about it. And so that's kind of what drives me from that standpoint. And man, I miss him so much sometimes. My kid, I know we're going a little personal here, but again, this is a show for that. So if you're looking for like charts and stuff like that, this is probably not the show for you. But if you want to just kind of chill and get to a little bit know a little bit more about me and kind of talk, feel free. So my 12-year-old, his first year in middle school, and he's been struggling emotionally. He's trying to fit in. He's like trying to be the cool kid, and he's getting in trouble in class. And I'm actually Armenian. I'm Armenian. They were born in Iran, and then when the revolution happened and the Ayatollah came in and the Shah, the king died, and then they turned it into what it is now. They fled asylum to Sweden, and that's where I was born. So, but anyways, my kid was sitting there, and he had kind of like an emotional breakdown, and I was like, look, son, when you're faced with a situation, there's two things. You either focus on the problem or you focus on the solution. If you focus on the problem, you might as well throw your hands up, quit, and just go about your life looking at every situation and just saying, oh, well, nothing I can do about it. Or you can choose to focus on the solution. You can look at what's happened in front of you and say, okay, I got in trouble in this class. Well, okay, why? What's the solution? What can I do to not get in trouble? And so, and I told him, I said, look, you have a dad, you have a mom that is actively in your life now. And so the struggles you're facing, you don't got to do it alone. You can lean on us. You can be like, I don't know what to do. Let me go ask my dad. And I told him, I was like, you should feel very lucky because there's a lot of kids that don't have a father figure. And I always try to teach that to my kids, like be grateful for what you have, because you start giving kids X, Y, and Z, then they become ungrateful. And if I don't get 10 presents this Christmas, it was a shitty Christmas. I always like to bring them back into reality. There's kids dying every day. There's kids living in hunger. There's kids that grow up without families. There's kids that grow up without no clothes, no shoes, nothing. And so I always try to keep that in perspective for them. I say, you have a father and a mother that you can lean on if you have problems in life. And that's the time to do it is now, because once you're 18, you're kind of on your own. And so our job is to prepare you to grow up to be a good young man. And so I was like, look at me. I was like, I don't have anyone to go to. I don't have a dad I can pick up the phone and say, hey, dad, shit, man, it was really rough. I'm running into this issue. What do you think I should do? I was like, and just feel grateful and gracious for what you have. You can always have more, but you can definitely always have less. And so long story short, what kind of drives me and motivates me is my father's memory and his commitment to his kids. And I want to embody that as well to my kids as well. So, Mad, you're the man you are, just living around. You got that drive, my friend. What sport is he playing? My 12-year-old, he plays soccer, and I think he runs track, but that doesn't start yet. My 10-year-old, his name is Liam. He's in the other room. He's probably listening in on me. See what I'm saying? That clearing that throat. That'll be over soon, by the way. So he plays goalie, soccer, and he also started playing flag football. He's not the athletic one in the family, but he's very smart kid. He's a smart ass, but he's really, really funny. He's so funny. That kid is hilarious, dude. His teacher's like, Liam, come here. My wife works at the kids' school. Like, Liam, come here. She's like, you need to stop giving me attitude. And he's like, you need to stop giving me attitude. And then she started cracking up laughing. I'm like, yep, that's Liam. That's what he does. So he plays flag football and goalie soccer. And then my daughter does gymnastics. And that little girl, she's super freaking good. But it's crazy how much she doubts herself. She will try a new thing that 2 levels above her gymnasts are doing at her class, right? She'll try it at home because she has bars at home. And she'll be like, I can't do it. I suck. I'm like, Ella, it's your first time doing it. You can't just quit on yourself. So it's just crazy. When you actually, I don't know how many of you in here have kids, but it's pretty crazy how much you realize kids, it's not just adults that have issues with our self-esteem, right? Kids, sometimes even as young as 6 or 7, it's pretty fucked up for them too. So your dad was a hustler for real. He really was, man. That dude was a beast. He was a machine. He got taken advantage of. Part of it was his fault. Part of it is just the person he is. He gives trust. He gives you trust until you break it. But sometimes when you give someone trust and they break it, that break it moment is you lose your business. And that's what happened to him. He went into a deep state of depression. It was fucked up. And I blame myself a lot because I think I was 18, 19, and my dad would he'd be locked in his room I wouldn't see him for 3-4 days. And then he would come out, and then my mom would always kind of be they would butt heads, and I'd feel some sort of resentment against my dad. He never came to my football games. He never, he didn't come to senior night. He wasn't an active father figure in a way of an everyday thing, coming to my games or coming to my spelling bees or whatever. And so I kind of felt some resentment towards him. And then as I got older and I started going through my own trials and tribulations in life, I'm like, that must have been so hard for that guy. He came in from nothing, was making 30 grand a month, bought a house with his own money, put $100,000 down, brought in his cousin, a business partner, ended up fucking him over. And all in a matter of a year and a half, he lost his house, he lost his business, he had no money, he was broke, he got taken to the cleaner by his business partner, and he was stuck at ground zero. He tried to look for a job in HVAC, but he was 54 years old, 52 years old, and it was either the hours were too long, his body couldn't handle it. Because, and I saw someone that say, I'm studying HVAC. A lot of HVAC people are very young. And so, because you need to work long hours in the heat, especially in Vegas, man. And I went out there with him. Fuck that shit, bro. I am not I don't like to work with my hands. I'll be honest. I'm very hands off. I like to work with my mind. I like to work with my voice. But manual labor, I am not that guy. And so he couldn't really find a job. And then that's when I came back from North Dakota. I couldn't go back for the 3rd semester of college up there. And I had a choice. Do I come back and support my family financially, or do I go back to North Dakota, let them figure it out back in Vegas? And so I decided to drop out of school. I picked up 2 jobs, and I was essentially paying all the bills for 2 years. And so looking back now, as I was growing older, I'm like, if that would have happened to me at that age, everything you've worked for just to lose it, I'd be depressed as shit too, man. I really would. And then my dad was never the same after that. He really wasn't. He started settling. And he just, I don't know. And then he had a heart attack 3 days before his 60th birthday. And he died on a Wendy's roof trying to pull a compressor unit on top by himself. So That's the thing. And I say that, and I don't want anyone to feel like sympathy. It's, you know, part of it was actually his fault. He's a heavy smoker. He had a few instances to where it was a signal that something is wrong with you, Dad. He failed a stress test. They wanted to do an angiogram to go in and see which arteries are blocked, but he canceled that appointment twice, and that is ultimately what took him out. Was his largest artery in his body was clogged 98%. He had a heart attack and died. If he would have kept his angiogram appointment, they would have found it out. They would have put a stent in. He probably still would have been living here today. And so after he died, part of me was also very angry and upset. I felt he was being selfish. Why didn't you keep your appointment? Why didn't you go? Look at the pain you've caused. And then, you know, he would have conversations with my wife, and towards the end, he would say stuff like, you know, Tiff, I'm ready to go. I've lived my life. My kids are old. I've seen my grandkids. I'm ready to go. And she'd brush it off like, what are you talking about? Like, you're ready to go. You're ready to go. And that was 2 weeks before he passed away. 2 weeks. The last time I saw him was Christmas of 2017. He passed away on the 28th of 2017. So, and that's the other thing I think about too, you know, from a health standpoint. And so I think quitting vaping for me is a big thing. So I appreciate all you guys. All right. Let's get off the personal stuff. Let's see. Do you guys have any questions? Any, like, how are you guys feeling? I do have a poll up here. Which altcoins rally? Will altcoins rally this week? Looks like 55% of you said yes. We saw Bitcoin kind of breaking out a little bit. Let's take a look at, you know, let's pull up CoinMarketCap here. All right, BTC 85.1, let's call it 85.2. Little bit of a rally, but you look at this chart here, and I want to go to the daily. And again, that bear pennant chart, and I was getting ready to short BTC here at 85, but I don't know. I'm in a wait and see moment here. Let's see what Bitcoin does. We talked about this consolidation at this key level. What will Bitcoin do? Will it break up? Will it break down? If you remember 3 days ago, it was either 80K, 90K. And it looks like as of right now, of course, we have confluence here on this range between 86 and 86.5 with our trend line, if we remove that deviation. So this level is what I'm looking at, but interesting. But also this is a daily candle, so this could end up just being a wick to the upside, a wick to 84, 85.4, 85.3, and then we come right below, and then we ultimately fail. If we fail this reclaim to get back into this channel here, into this pattern, then I would be looking to short BTC at around $84,000. So we'll see what happens. The markets reopen tomorrow, unless there's like a holiday. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the market, guys? Are you guys excited? You bullish? You bearish? You think things are going to change? What do you guys think? All right. Bear flag on the daily. Dominic, that was, yeah, bear flag, bear pennant. But, you know, this is kind of getting a little overextended. So either way, you remove your pole, you have a rising channel or rising wedge, right? So either way, this thing is expected to break down. But if you throw the pole on there, and even if you extend it out here, or you extend it out here, I mean, whatever you want to do, this is a bearish pattern regardless, whether there's a pole there or no pole there. So, yeah. But if you do want to consider this a flag or a pole, this would be more of a pennant, because it's forming more of a triangle. It's kind of converging at the end, versus a flag has just think of a actual flag. It's rectangular. It's more, what's the right word? The word skipped my head, but it's essentially got the same width of the channel. This one is kind of shrinking. So this is more of a pennant versus more of a flag, which is congruent on each side, if that makes sense. So, all right. Also, guys, if you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you're subscribed. I don't see a rally strictly because of uncertainty of April 2nd. Yeah, that's the other thing, Don, is that April 2nd day is pretty big for a lot of people. And when I say a lot of people, I mean Wall Street. You guys know Wall Street, they try to get ahead of certain things. They try to extrapolate a decision that is made today into 5 months, 6 months, 10 months down the road. What does that mean for the markets, and how can I make money? And so I think, I mean, how many more days do we have? We have 10 more days. So 10 days. So that is next Wednesday. So a week from this Wednesday, April 2nd. Now, what will happen before then? Will we see other countries come out and kind of back off and say, you know what? We don't want to do this whole reciprocal tariff thing. We'll just cut our tariffs. And the U.S. comes and says, all right, fine, we'll cut ours too. Or is everyone going to stick to their guns? And is this just going to be a big game of chicken played in the financial markets? So I don't know. I really don't. But if you look at statistics, numbers, and you just look at overall narrative of what's happening in our space, it's very hard to be bearish. It really is. Now, short term, like if you want to scalp and swing trade and make some money that way, sure. Bearish, bullish, but overall, macro wise, I'm just, it's so, how can you be in this space and be bearish? I really don't get it. So, all right. No alcohol next. You know, I'm not a big alcohol guy. And part of it is from a health standpoint. I get really bad acid reflux. I've had it since 2012. 2012, I got my first stint of acid reflux. Oh my God, what a disaster. You guys want the story? It's a fucked up one. I was at Mesa Grill. It was Bobby Flay's restaurant. And God damn you, AI tracking. I don't want you on. Let me turn off AI tracking like I had the last time. Yeah, I'm not fan. It's just turn it off, man. And it's like, I swear to God, it turns off. It turns on its own, like randomly. And now I got to go in and I got to freaking adjust this thing. So just give me 2 seconds and I'll share the story for you guys of my first stint with acid reflux. It was the one day in Vegas where literally everything just got buried underwater. It was like a freaking snow, or not snow. It rained like Vegas has never seen. The streets were literally flooded. I was at work. I was working at Mesa Grills, Bobby Flay restaurant, Caesar's Palace. I was a food expediter. All of a sudden, and I'm kind of a hypochondriac. Like I used to be a lot more than I am now. And part of that was my friend Sheldon, and kind of being saved and, believing in God and Jesus Christ and reading the Bible. And from a religious standpoint, I grew up in a family. My dad was very anti-religion. He was not anti-God, but he was anti-religion. I guess he was kind of anti-God. He was like, well, if there's a God, why are kids in Africa being born hungry and with no families? What kind of God would do that? And then he hated churches. He said they just want your money and they're corrupt. And to some of them, he's right. But anyway, so I started doing that. So I'm not as big of a hypochondriac, but back then I was. So I'm standing there and my wife is like 7-8 months pregnant. It was her first pregnancy. And I start getting this like burning feeling in my chest. And my immediate thought is, holy shit, am I having a heart attack? Am I about to die? And then I start panicking. I'm like, you start breathing shallow. And then the chef is like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I think I'm having a heart attack. He's like, what? He's like, what do you mean? You're 21 years old. I'm like, dude, I'm having a heart attack. So I sit in the office. They call the EMTs. The EMTs come. They slap the blood pressure. They're like, holy shit, if you don't go to the emergency room, you're gonna have a stroke. My blood pressure was 240 over 130. 240 over 130. So I'm like, and then when he says it, I'm like, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack and a stroke. I'm gonna die. Oh my God. I'm like, I can't call my wife. She's pregnant. It's like literally the streets are flooded. So like the worst possible day this can happen, the streets are flooded. So I'm like, I gotta call my mom. I call my mom. She comes up here. She picks me up. We get in the car, and then we're just traffic. And all the while I'm sitting in the car, and I'm thinking, I'm just any point now, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna have a heart attack. I'm gonna have a stroke. I'm just gonna pass away in this car. I'm like, Mom, should we get out of the car and just run? She's like, no, you're fine. Just relax. We get there. They do the blood pressure. They're like, yeah, it's a little elevated, but it's not that high. They're like, here, drink this. So I told them, and they gave me this GI cocktail. And I drank it, and then 10 minutes later, they're like, you feel better? I'm like, yeah, I do feel better. Like, you have acid reflux. I'm like, what? And then that's how I found out I have acid reflux, and I've been on medication ever since. And so because of that, I can't drink. And so it fucks up. If you see me drinking, just know that it's a very special occasion, and I am willing to deal with the heartburn via Zantac, Pepto, or an extra morning pill I take. And so yeah, it was all in my head, man. How you make your wife pregnant? I'm sure you can figure it out. It's not very hard. Destroyer, $20 super chat, say you're possibly proud, Dave. Keep up the good work. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. You know, Destroyer's been with us for a very long time. You've been shit, bro. Like what? Like 500 subs? We've hung out outside of work. Super cool dude. I consider him a friend. So big thank you for you. A big thank you, my friend. Appreciate all your support. Who thinks they're gonna die from reflux? Crypto 7, I agree, bro. But I did not know what was going on. That was the first time I ever had a bout of acid reflux. I didn't even know what it was. I just felt this burning sensation in the middle of my chest. My brain immediately went to, I'm having a heart attack, and then it all just compiled from there. Obviously, now knowing it, it's not, yeah. Chan said if you eat the right foods, you can fix that. You know what, dude? It's like there's so many things that you cannot eat, bro. And I know I'm making an excuse here, but my God, no dairy, no chocolate, no caffeine. What else? Like nothing, no carbs, no sugar. Like, I don't know. It's obviously it's something like, but I take the pantoprazole in the morning and I'm pretty fine. And I know that eventually that, you know, if you stay on it too long, that could be bad too, but either way. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about today? Like I told you, this stream is no, let me actually, while you guys do that, anything else you want to talk about, any questions you have, throw them in the chat. In the meanwhile, I did post in our Discord that we're making some changes to the Patreon. I've added 2 tiers and I'm going to change the other tier. So I added just a supporter tier. Let me show you. Now we get a lot of people who are like, look, I don't got $50. All right, it's all good, but I want to support the channel. So I created a tier called supporter. It's $10, and it's really, if you just want to support the channel. I have this one, but this one's going to change. I'm going to drop the price of this one, and I'm going to take away the trading side of it and only do the alpha. And the reason for that is I'm creating something different for trading, because the $50, the value is if you like the alpha and you like the trading. The problem is some people just want trading. They don't want to pay $50. They don't really care about the alpha, and also the vice versa. And so the mid-level tier is going to be for the alpha. And then for the trading, the only wall, the paywall, is going to be just this right here. And this is not live yet. I'm still waiting on the Buy DeFi team to get this thing going, but we'll have an entire channel for people that are interested in trading. And it won't be like, you won't have to pay us any money to do it. The only thing you got to do is just create a link or sign up with our Buy DeFi account, and then just deposit $100, start trading, and then you start getting all these signals and the market analysis for trading. And so it's cheaper for a majority of people. If you just want the alpha, you can do it. I don't know what the price is going to be yet. I haven't decided, but it'll definitely be cheaper than $50. And then I added one called God Mode. I don't expect anyone to join with this. It's $250 a month. I know it's an exorbitant money, but with this one, you essentially will have direct access to me. And so we'll be in a Telegram chat together, just me and you. It's not a group thing. So if you're new to the space, think of it like a coaching thing. If you're like, hey, I just want access to someone who's in the space, who knows his stuff, that I can maybe bounce ideas off of or get guidance from. Again, this is not something I expect really, like maybe 1 or 2 people, maybe, and that's the whole idea. That's why it's $250 a month. But I put it up there. Again, it's not something I expect anyone to sign up for. But you never know if someone gets it and they find value in having my what's the word I'm looking for? Undivided attention via a Discord chat with just me and you, then that option is available as well. So I think it's a win-win for everyone. If someone wants to spend this money and get that, great. If someone just wants the alpha, it's more affordable. If someone just wants to be a supporter, you can have that too. And then those people that really are into trading, you're not going to have to pay us any money. You just got to use the link, create a Buy DeFi account, and then deposit $100, and then you'll get all the signals and everything else. So, all right, so that was the announcement. Again, I'll let you guys know what that amount number is for the insider one when we break it down. So, David, talk about Sailor and I are pumping the market. I'm pumping it today and tomorrow's Sailor's turn. So this is you, huh, Rusty Bot? I got to give a big thank you to you, my friend. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, brother. All right. Pizza is no bueno. Yeah. But just eat red meat, salt, and water for 90 days. I believe you, bro. You know, my friend, he went full carnivore diet. And dude lost 50 pounds just eating meat and vegetables. It's pretty crazy. He's like, no sugar, no carbs, nothing. Just meat and vegetables, period. I was like, okay, damn. So, yeah. Eugene said, problem is, I already think I know everything and have it all figured out myself. It's all good, baby. That's good. Dominic said, I got another $1,500. Do you think I should sit in cash till April 3rd? You know, Dominic, questions like that, it's very broad. And obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't sit here and say, well, you should do this and this. But like, I would want to know, if I was your financial advisor, I would want to know, well, what is your, like, how much of that is your discretionary income? Do you have savings? Like, do you need that? Is there a possibility you will need that money? And then you look at, okay, well, what does your portfolio look like now? How risk on are you? What's your goals? Do you have a retirement account? Like, how old are you? So there's a lot of questions, but everything's a risk. You sit and you wait on the sideline too long, it becomes an opportunity risk, right? You know, you never gain the day that the money's not in the market. You don't ever gain that back. But then you run the risk of volatility too, if you go in early. So what I'd recommend you do is, if it is discretionary income or money that you have set aside, that you're like, look, I'm not going to need to touch this money. If it so happens to go down 40% because something crazy happens, I'll be good. I'm willing to weather the storm. Write down 5 projects you're bullish on or 5 narratives you're bullish on. Find the projects in those narratives. And then look at their price action relative to where they've been. Has the price been suppressed because the markets have overreacted from a price action standpoint? Or are markets pricing it as being less valuable than you think it is? You'll find that the ones that the markets have overreacted to, and the way you know that is if you look back 6 months ago, what was the price? What were they doing? And to today, what is the price and what are they doing? If the only thing that's changed is the price and not what they're doing or what has happened since then it would be a net positive for you to get exposure to that. So that's kind of what I would do. Not one YouTuber, Paul Wood said, not one YouTuber knows where we are going. Not Lifer, not Crypto Face. No one, if anything, this period has shown indicators. Don't worry. Paul, you're absolutely right, bro. And then no one has any fucking idea. I don't even know if I'll wake up tomorrow morning. That's up to God. I don't know. I don't know if the stream's going to crash right now. I don't know if the internet's going to go out. I don't know if Donald Trump gets assassinated tomorrow, which CIA, I'm not saying it, I'm just giving ideas, scenarios here. If the president gets assassinated tomorrow and I don't know, no one has any idea. That's why if you focus day by day, like, okay, what happened today? Where can I make money today? And you just look at the information in front of you. The data you have to make decisions, that's what you look at. And that's it. But I don't sit here and pretend like I know exactly what's going to happen. No one has any fucking idea. Not you, not me, not the best freaking TA, FA, analyst, news person knows. No one knows, especially when you have someone like Trump in office. You just, one tweet could send us into World War III or end World War III. That's just what it is. So it makes for a fun roller coaster ride, though. But if you have acid reflux, you got to make sure you take the Zantac before you ride on the roller coaster, because it'll be pretty good. All right, guys, I think I'm done, man. I appreciate you guys for joining me. Let me know before I go, what are your thoughts on this style show? Do you guys enjoy it? You know, you guys always see me in the videos, in the uploads. I always kind of, when the guests come on the show, I'm always taking the lead. And that's kind of my role in the business and the channel, is I'm the content guy. I'm more of the facilitator in conversation and stuff like that. And Rob and Rocco really do everything else. I mean, everything else from a production standpoint. And I focus on, you know, the business, revenue, partnerships, communications, the community, and content, and Rob and Rocco do everything else. So for me, it's nice to have a show where everything's not planned. I got to talk about this, the news and crypto and charts. So for me personally, it's nice to unwind on a Sunday and just kind of chat with you guys like we're sitting at a bar or we're zooming each other or something, even though I can't see your face. So it's just a nice kind of like vibe and reset for me. And I'm curious, are you guys feeling the same thing? Do you guys enjoy it? If you do, I'll continue to do them. If not, then we can maybe look at something else. And looks like my kids are fighting right on cue. It's exciting. Also, didn't do my hair today. I'm about to go get a haircut. Reached out to my person and they're like, yeah, I'm pretty busy today. You know, the kids go back from school break, from spring break tomorrow. So I'm getting a lot of people coming in. So yeah. Crypto 7 said, I think David just said he does everything. That is not true. That is not true at all. Rob and Rocco, those guys, they do a lot. But a lot of what they do is behind the scenes. So no one really sees it. People just see the content and the videos. No one sees the behind the scenes and the amount of stuff and all the thumbnails and the video production. And it's a lot of shit. But the beauty of it is we've divided and conquered, right? We find out what I'm good at. I'm do that. We find out what Robin's good at. He does that. We find out what Rocco's good at. He does that. And we all work on the same path to get to the same end goal. We don't give a shit about each other's feelings. If we don't like something, we'll bring it to each other's attention. No harm, no foul. It all revolves around what's best for the business. And it's been working so far, knock on wood. And I believe it's going to continue to work moving forward. So it's just, we work very well together. We do. Again, some things I'm really good at that Rob sucks at. Some things he's a master at. And I look at him like, how did you do that, bro? How the fuck did you do that? And I'm just like, I never do that. And I suck at it. And so it's a good vibe, right? It's a good fit. We weren't really friends beforehand, which has helped us kind of grow in business and to put the business first versus putting our friendship first. So yeah. Anyways, I love you guys, man. Enjoy your Sunday. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We're back at it tomorrow. Reminder, tomorrow, 30 minutes early on the morning live show. So we're going live at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. Starting tomorrow, the TA stream will still be at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Moving forward, that time might change as well. So we're just trying to optimize for our viewers. If you guys know, we are constantly reinvesting all the money that comes in. And part of what we've been doing is we've been talking to some YouTube growth specialists, people that really have been in the space that know, and they brought it to our attention that, hey, maybe if you move your time slot back a little bit, you'll get to capture more. Because our goal is to be on the YouTube homepage. And did I just lose internet? That was weird. That was interesting. Okay. The hell just happened? We want to hit on the YouTube home search. And so we want people to go in, type crypto, and then we pop up. So they said, look, your viewers are online between 10 and 11, and you're going live at 11. And so we're always trying to take things into consideration, advice, especially from people who know what they're doing, and that is their niche and their expertise. And so we're moving it back 30 minutes. We're going to see how it goes because we're always trying to improve our content and our viewership. So either way, guys, I love you. Have a great Sunday. Hang out with the family. Spend some time. We'll see you tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Pacific. See you then. Peace.